What does the future hold? The world really is a terrible place in many ways. Turn on any news station, and within minutes you'll have cause for stress and anxiety. Starting from that foundation and trying to imagine what the future may hold can be even more terrifying. The good news is we can know some things ahead of time. There are certain things about the future that God has revealed through his prophets. Unfortunately, not everything that is coming will be good. The Bible warns that a great deception is coming for those who have rejected the truth. The whole earth will worship a man called the Antichrist. This man will not rule by his power, but by the power of Satan. Revelation chapter 13 verse 4 says, "The dragon gave him his power, his throne, and great authority." Daniel 8 verse 24 says, "And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper in practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people." 2 Thessalonians 2:9 says, "His power is after the working of Satan, with all powers and signs and lying wonders." So the Antichrist is going to get his power from Satan. And even now, Satan and his angels are very active in this world. I often wonder who is pulling the strings behind the scenes. What secret or not so secret society really has the most destructive power? Could it be the Freemasons, maybe the Jesuits, or the Pope himself? The Illuminati, Satanists, Islam, Zionism, a global league of communists or Republicans or bankers or anarchists? Are some of them really one and the same behind the scenes? Or do they vie for power against each other? One thing is for certain, and that's the one that's at the top of the pyramid. Satan is the ruler of the evil in this world. Ephesians 6:12 says, "For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against rulers, against authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places." The way to defend your mind against deception is to receive all the truth you can. If God shows you something or illuminates something to your mind through his Spirit, it's important to not reject it, but to believe it and to keep it. The Bible teaches this lesson over and over again. To some, the greatest miracles and the most clear displays of God's power have become curses instead of blessings. This was especially true during the time of Jesus. The people saw the miracles he did and had every reason to believe in him, but still refused. In Matthew 11, verses 20 through 23, it says, "Woe unto thee, Chorazin! Woe unto thee, Bethsaida! For if the mighty works which were done in you had been done in Tyre and Sidon, they would have repented long ago in sackcloth and ashes. But I say unto you that it shall be more tolerable for Tyre and Sidon at the day of judgment than for you. And thou, Capernaum, which are exalted unto heaven, shall be brought down to hell. For if the mighty works which were done in thee had been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day. But I say unto you that it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom in the day of judgment than for thee." It was also true in the days of Moses. The Nile turned to blood, Egypt was covered with frogs, lice, flies, disease, hail, fire, locusts, darkness. Even after all this, Pharaoh would not repent, but chased after Israel in the wilderness. And even Israel itself didn't believe after seeing all this. Because from the day they left Egypt, walking through the Red Sea with a wall of water on either side, they constantly doubted God and Moses. Going back to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, it says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved." This verse gives the why. Why does God allow people to fall for the lies and the false prophets? Because when they have the truth, they reject it. This is even highlighted in the verse following John 3:16, which is probably the most famous Bible verse, and goes, "For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life." Continuing on, it goes, "For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil." Romans 1, verses 21 through 22 says, Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. We should listen to what it says in Psalm 95. Today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your heart.